What's up, guys? Bobby Crawls 510 here. Just wanted to make a quick little video, give you guys a rundown of what's in stock and what will be featured on the channel. So these are mostly all mine. This one back here, this SCX24, this one is mine, and that is actually on a Warthog 3D printed chassis. So if I remove the cover, there you go. Still a little bit of glue on that purple face that you can see. You know, those weird little smudges. That's just the Elmer's glue I never really cleaned off. But this was printed with rainbow filament, and I sacrificed my C10 to build this. It's an awesome little rig. It's very, very capable, very, very low center of gravity. And then I ended up half cabbing my C10 and then changed the little servo hood right here, kind of made my own little design, put a little star and some holes in it, and then made some body mounts and, you know, attached it all in CAD and 3D printed it. But where the little clips go through, the little tops broke off on a tumble, so got to reprint that. I think I might make the holes a little bit bigger in the body and print the posts a little bit fatter. Maybe use like a bigger little shorty clip or something. I'm not sure yet. But if we take a closer look at this, yep. We have a NHX brass gearbox, whatever, center little thing there, whatever you want to call it. There's a whole bunch of names for it. Anyway, some aluminum links, some brass knuckles and wheel weights, and these axles are extended 5mm each side, front and rear. The rear is running wheel weights as well, with little spacers in there for that 5mm. Diff covers, plastic center drive still, plastic axle housing still, aluminum steering links, stock steering servo, stock suspension, it's a fun little rig. I just kind of have to design some mounts to come off the back of this and come up and out like I did for my SCX10 over here, which I'll get to. But so this one is mine, and this body will be mounted a lot better eventually. I'll get around to it. This is a SCX24 Jeep Gladiator that I bought pretty much just for the channel, but turns out I ended up giving it to my girlfriend, so she's actually going to be featured in the channel sometime, driving this little truck, so that'll be pretty cool. Just a couple little mods to this. We've got some red brass, so we have painted brass, wheel weights, knuckles, diff covers, and then we've got the brass frame weights or rock sliders, whatever you want to call it. Stock suspension. We're running a 1000 milliamp battery in there, so it's a lot of weight over the center rear of the truck. So I'll be figuring out a way to get that battery up towards the front. Just have to figure out. So I'm gonna have to take that ESC right there and put it back there. Make it more capable, climb steeper stuff. And then we have my son's SEX 24 deadbolt. This thing is bone stock. My son's a basher. He just likes to take this thing and run it into walls and do whatever he wants with it. So it's actually brand new, but he has a blast with it. That's running a stock 350 milliamp battery. Everything's stock, bone stock, but he absolutely loves this. So when he gets a little bit better at driving it, then you know I'll have him featured on the channel driving it. This is John Boy's C10. John Boy no longer wheels with me because John Boy broke his ankle and now he's got better things to do. Nah, he did break his ankle, but he's doing better. So maybe I'll get him back on the channel and get him over here and run his shit. So stepping over here, we have a 2-in-1 car deal. So I bought this just with intentions of making it a drift vehicle. It's a Traxxas, what is it? Traxxas 4Tech 2.0. When you have so many cars, you kind of forget shit. But yeah, so it's a Traxxas 4Tech 2.0, all-wheel drive, and it came limited slip, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, the differentials were not locked. You know, they could slip for turning and stuff. It came as a kind of an RTR kit. It needed a battery and it needed a shell. So I had purchased the body separate, little LED lights separate, and what else was under here? Oh yeah, I also converted it from the XL5 to a 3S Velineon brushless system. So we've got the VXL 3S in there, and this thing scoots. As you can see, these tires are just gone. So I do run this thing on 3S when I'm doing my speed runs and whatever. It currently has a 31 tooth pinion gear on it. And this thing is fast as hell, but it's really hard to control and keep in a straight line, even in, you know, all-wheel drive and everything. But this thing is pretty much bone stock, except the lockers that I put in, the front and rear dips, and the motor ESC. So I run that on 3S when I'm running the rubbers, and then I have a set of drift wheels for this that I'll actually run a 2S battery in here, and then I'll do my drifting and stuff. So that's why I said it's kind of like a 2-in-1 car, drift vehicle and kind of like a speed run vehicle. And coming over here, we have John Boy's Red Cat Everest. I think it's a Gen 7, but he has snapped his front passenger axle, I believe. Or no, I think when we were driving it last, all the wheels were spinning except this one. So something is stripped out in here. But last time we talked, he was mentioning portal axles for this thing. And Jesus, look at the size of this pumpkin under here. That's ridiculous. I didn't know it was that bad. There's like no clearance under there. Yeah. Yeah. So he was talking about portal axles for this thing. I think that would be excellent. It'd be an excellent choice. This thing is bone stock. Nothing really to it, except this connector back here. So this Red Cat came with a nickel metal hydride battery, and it had like a weird connector on it. It's like its own little Red Cat connector, something weird. Charger and everything included. So I had an extra charging lead that was an EC5, and I told John Boy, hey, just wire this in. So now he uses his drift car's 2S battery also in this crawler. So he's got the battery at his house with his drift car. We were actually just out drifting the other night. But scooting on from that, over here we have my SCX-10-2 Trail Honcho. This thing is badass. It's my favorite. I had purchased this first, the TRX-4 Sport, and I fell in love with it. And then I got this, and I don't really care too much for this one anymore. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, so this little guy, I've got some mudslingers on here, and as you can see, I've actually cut all of the little knobbies that are in between all the big knobbies, and that made a huge difference for these tires. Huge difference. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear the 3D printer in the other room behind me, but so I'm making these half cab mounts, and basically you can take your stock body, take the shell off, which is right over here, and then come in here and you bolt my mount up, and then you can half cab your OEM body. Or at least that's what I did. So pins go through there, and that's pretty much it. I have a gray one printing in the other room right now. So this thing, I have some stainless steel high clearance links, uppers and lowers, front and rear. In the back, I'm just running some hex extensions, a brass diff cover, some brass knuckles up front, and some brass hex extensions, and a brass diff cover. And that's pretty much it. I do have a stainless steering rack and steering components. This shell is so easy to get off with this 3D printed half cab mount. Check this out. Just take it from the front and just lift up. That's it. So this is the 2S battery that I run in here. It is a Ovonic 5200 milliamp. I think it's a 50C. Yeah. And yeah, works out pretty good. This is also the one that I use in this Fortec 2.0 when I'm drifting. And then this battery also goes into my TRX-4 Sport. So let's jump over to this. This thing actually has a lot of brass on it. I put a fair amount on it. And then I have a 3D printed, I found this on Thingiverse and printed it. It's a 3D printed LCG battery tray. And I didn't want to go out and buy a shorty pack because I'm cheap. So you can hate on it, that's cool. But what I did is this little rear cross member back here, You can see it looks a little chunky in there. A little chunky. I just clipped all that out, you know, and I think I clipped it out with like 3D printing clippers, but I shaved all that out and put my own little Velcro strips in there. And check this out. Voila. 3S pack sitting pretty much in between the frame rails. Well, one end is. But look how flush that is. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I had to chisel a little bit of that stuff out, but that fit in there. Boom, boom, boom. And let's see what we got going on here. I did break the stock the servo. That was actually pretty easy to break. But as far as brass components go, I believe the inner, oh, it's been a while. I have the inner portal housings in brass, and then I have the C-hubs in brass, and this is all Trail. Some Trail diff covers. Brass is a little dirty, so you can't really tell that it looks plastic. It doesn't look metal. It looks faded almost. And then this is actually a special little truck because it's a crawler and a tow rig. So I found a rear bumper mount on Thingiverse, and I grabbed that file and I put that little rectangle in there with that little like drop pin or whatever you want to call it. But so I found this, put that little square in there, or a rectangle, and then I made my own little drop hitch. And then I have a little hitch that comes out, and that attaches to this trailer right here. So I hooked my trailer up to my TRX4 Sport, and then I towed the SCX10 behind it to a crawl location, and then disconnect the trailer and crawl both trucks, and then, you know, tow it back to the car or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with that. Otherwise, this is pretty much stock. Some 3D printed stuff, you know. Doesn't hurt to invest in a $120 printer. This is a little project that I have going on. What was that company's name? Oh well, whatever. You can find these for like $159 on Amazon. It's an SCX10 complete. Well, not complete, but you know, I was kind of doing a little bit of stuff to it, and then kind of gave up on it. So it's just been sitting here collecting dust. If anybody wants it, let me know. There's the cage from the Trail Honcho. If anybody wants that, leave a comment, let me know. And then over here, I have a WPL, I believe it's a C24. I don't know, it doesn't get much action. Kind of just sits on the shelf. It's a shelf bitch. But, stepping over here, this, I kind of need to get back going on and get this in the works and back onto the channel. This is a Rustler 2-wheel drive, and all of these orange parts are all my designs. Everything from scratch I designed. And, you know, I got suspension arms that are, you know, 12 millimeter longer, so got a widened stance, front and rear. Got a pretty cool little top plate here, little skull guy. Chilling. And then I was gonna start up a little brand called, you know, Bash King. or whatever, but I don't know. You know, life happens. You have kids and stuff, and doesn't quite. There's no time. So I've got an ESC mount right there, and then some suspension arms. So there's a little bit more designing I need to do to this top plate. I have to put some cutouts so the whole bell crank steering system can work inside of here. And when I first initially designed this, I didn't think about that. So I got to reopen this file and do some measuring and see where that needs to be for this to be assembled. But yeah, it's been a project for probably over a year, and I've just kind of been holding on to it, thinking to myself, one day I'm gonna get it done. So yep, that's what's going on over on my side of town, guys. Like I said, these are all the vehicles that are going to be featured. Probably not that one, because it's probably going to go to somebody. But we're going to try to get some more crawlers. I'm looking at the Axial SCX-10 3 base camp. So I want to try to get that on the channel, get some mods going, do some performance gain videos and whatnot, and then kind of want to look into some other brands of RC cars or of crawlers. So I don't know, just kind of in the mood to expand this channel. All right, guys, have a good one.